This is our fourth garden plot. Now we don't have all of our plots together. One of the reasons for that is that if we had some kind of bug infestation, it wouldn't destroy all of our crops. So we break our gardens up. We have 4 or 5 different beds, and we've shown you a couple of them. This is actually our bed that we do some beans. We have some tomatoes in here, which are pretty much done for the year. We also have pumpkins and squashes and gourds in here. You can get a picture of one of the pumpkins that's late blooming. We've taken some out of here already, but there's pumpkins and squash and gourds. And again, around the edge, we let it grow with wild edibles. And those wild edibles actually help to protect the garden from insects and other things that will get in there. So it's a good idea to make sure that you have lots of things growing that are useful to your family, but also things that grow naturally in your area that you can also plant in the Finally, garden. All around the house, we've planted tires filled with different things. We have some zucchini here. We have tomatoes off to this side. And again, those tomatoes are just about finished. We have other tires filled with tomatoes. But tires are a great way to plant. Here's one of our zucchini, and that's just about ready for picking. In fact, I'll go ahead and take that off of there. Let's see. You can see we get some pretty good fruit out of there. This is actually pretty good size, but we've got some that were much larger as well. But planting in tires is a great way to plant. You can actually just load that up with your good dirt, which we have plenty of down in the woods, and all sorts of nutrients, and that will help your things to grow a lot faster, as well as not using as much dirt. It's almost like a square foot gardening kind of concept, but we use tires to do it in. The last thing while we're talking about gardening is that you want to get yourself heirloom seeds. The reason for that is because if you get genetically modified seeds or GMO, then you're not going to be able to replant if you can't get seed next year. And what we do is we keep, this is the head of a piece of lettuce, for example. You can see the little seeds here. They're inside these pods, and the seeds will be able to be harvested for next year. These are some beans that we grow, and these pole beans, we'll break that open. You can see these seeds, and these seeds are ready to be put away. They've already been dried in the pod actually. There's another one. And then we can go ahead and put those away, and we can use those next year to grow our beans again. And finally, besides keeping your seed and putting seed and drying it, down at the back end of the garden, Tam will try and zoom in there, is we have 3 mulch piles, and those mulch piles are brand new, active, and the third one is ready to use. And what we've done is just put some skids up, and we transfer those throughout the year as they begin to mulch down. So as I was saying, that's a good way to keep, you've got to keep everything together and keep all of your seed the way it is. Right behind us here we have a strawberry patch. These are our strawberries. We get some different fresh fruit off of this. And this is what I was talking about, growing wild all around. This is poke, and we allow these things to grow wherever they are. We actually try and transplant some around different gardens and different things, so we have plenty of wild fruits and vegetables available. In fact, we're going to have to harvest this poke and have some poke tonight. One other thing that I want to talk about, we talked about toilet paper and different things, is we have a septic system here. We're not on city sewer, we're not on city water, and because we have that septic system, it's available for us to use unless the water goes out or the power goes out, because then we can't flush the toilet. So what we've done is we have actually marked where our tank is, and we put this bucket over the top. If we pull that bucket up, what we have underneath, and I'm not going to show you, but what we have underneath is the cap for the tank. 8 screws take that off, and I can come out here, I can build an outhouse right over this existing tank. Just put up some, at the cheapest I could just put up a tarp kind of shelter, or I could go fancy. We've got some extra wood. We could build a kind of an outhouse right over the tank itself, where everything would fall into the tank and it would continue to operate the way that it normally operates. So that's a good thing to think about as well if you have septic setup. Where's your waste going to go? It's got to go somewhere. While we're on that point, it's always good to make sure that you regularly clean your septic tank, your gear, your equipment. Know where it is. In an emergency or crisis situation is not the time to think my septic tank is filled, or I've lost my tools, or I go to find something and it's filled with rust. So again, take good care of your equipment and it'll serve you a long time. Finally, as we close this up, we have a couple of extra sources of water that are used not necessarily for drinking water, but that can be used for utilitarian water. For example, washing your hands or feeding the animals or different things like that. One is a 10,000 gallon swimming pool. We leave the water in the pool most of the year round. We cover the pool, and if we have to have water to water the plants, to feed animals, we can take it out of here. The only thing we put in our pool is chlorine, and that dissipates or evaporates after just a few hours. So keeps it nice and clean, but it also gives us an emergency supply. We also do keep 55 and 35 gallon buckets that are filled with water, or that can use a passive water catchment system, such as water off the roof, for the same kind of things. So we just have catchment and tarps that could channel the water to where we want it, or drain pipes that will get the water to where we want it to be. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. We've allowed you to come into our home, into our personal lives a little bit, but I hope that it helps you, the viewer, find out some things that you can do to keep yourself in a bug-in situation. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to write us. This is David Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire. We appreciate you very much. We appreciate your support, and we appreciate all of our subscribers. We have gotten quite a few requests, actually, for our t-shirts and hats. Bushcraft on Fire hats. We have t-shirts that we wear with Bushcraft on Fire logos. I spoke to the company today. They've given me a special offer, and so we are going to make those shirts and hats available to you. It may not be for a couple weeks, but if you have an order that you want to be fulfilled in a couple weeks, let me know now. Go ahead and send your request to me either via comment, personally to my inbox on YouTube, or you can email me at sorentam@centurytel.net, and I'll be happy to put those aside and make sure I get the right sizes ordered. We're going to offer the shirts in white, black, and blue with a contrasting logo. The hats will be either khaki or khaki with a black bill, or black hats. So let us know what you want. The prices are going to be pretty reasonable. I think it's going to be about $10 to $12 for a t-shirt, and that's embroidered. It's not a painted on logo or a sprayed on logo or an iron on logo. That's actually embroidered. And the hats as well with the embroidery, and I think they're going to be about $12 or $13. So let us know if you want any of that. This is David Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Have a great day and join us again real soon.